Common Maze of the Research Team Florida coming at you. This is Wednesday. I am not looking at a calendar, but today is the 21st. Coming at you today with some of these picks. Once again, if you do not know, the Research Team Florida Discord is going to be in the description below for you to join in and get in on. For whatever reason, I'll be forgetting that I gotta send this out. So go ahead and do that. Let me go ahead action because I know that they love hearing this information. I know that they love knowing that people like me, myself, my brother YS, my brother Dove, my brother Eden are out here trying to make sure we spread the right information about sports betting and what it can entail because, a lot of people be just, donating, donating. And that's what we are trying to refrain from people to be doing. So I got to send this to one more place real quick so they can know to come here as well. For those who don't know, on my last live that I did, um, had a great turnout on a lot of those games. I think there was only two picks that I had missed on that last one I gave out. Maine and New Hampshire at 2 o'clock to go over 139, 129 points. I needed 130 points. They sold me so bad. They sold me so bad, guys. So sorry if you had tailed that one. Um, and I think um, there was only about one other play, if I can recall. I know I gave away Edmonton, gave away Colorado, but I do think that there was one. I know that because out of all my picks, I had went 9 of 11. So there's another one that I gave out. I do apologize. I should have looked at what that was so we can understand what had went wrong. But at the same time, these are all things that are out of our control. We just, at the research team, go and do some in-depth research to go and make sure we find some diamond in the rough things that we can give to you guys and also give out I'm going to be starting out with NCAA. I like picking NCAA picks. I believe that there's a lot of value in these total spreads, these over unders. There's not so much money line value in a lot of games, but I do have one money line value game, and that is Troy versus ODU today. Troy is coming in at a minus 260, but they are a way better team than ODU. ODU this season has only mustered about 5 wins in about 20 games. So it is a spread of 5.5 when it opened at 5.5. The spread is jumped up to 6.5, and Troy is still favored to cover the spread. But the spread prices and all that, they'd be priced around like 110 to minus 115, minus 125 at the highest that I be seeing. Or you can get a plus 100, you know what I'm saying? You can find some plus 100 spreads out there, but they don't be too crazy like that. But for Troy today, minus 260 money line for them to go out there and just win the game, even if they only won by 1 point. That way, we're not worried about the spread. Minus 260 money line. That is something that I would definitely look into putting in on parlay. Um, that is a very, very decent game to put in on a parlay. Um, my next game that I have is Oakland versus I think it's Indiana University. It's IUI. Oakland versus IUI. Oakland Bears. They're coming into this game. They're 11-9. Uh, the spread is minus 15 and a half. At first, I was kind of remiss on taking the spread until because I'm not really too hip to the Oakland Bears, if I'm being honest. I just know IUI is not that good of a team. They haven't been covering the spread this season. And these 15.5 spreads, like anywhere between like 15 and 22, I do be a little remiss because, it's not really a blowout. So it's not like the team is supposed to be just, you know, walking through whoever their opposition is, but I like what I seen from Oakland in their recent form of games. They went over, they've covered the spread like six in the last nine games. So I am going to be playing this 15 and a half. It is priced at minus 110. That's a very good price, very, very modest price for most college spreads. I'm going to be pairing that with the money line of Troy today. And my last college basketball play, the I think they're 19 and 1. The unstoppable Gonzaga Bulldogs. Their spread is minus 28 and a half today. I don't think that that is a I don't think that is a tough task for Gonzaga today. They're going against Pepperdine, and Pepperdine is not a good score. Not as talented as Gonzaga. Gonzaga is down their leading scorer, so the public bet on the spread is for Pepperdine to cover. I am betting against that today. I do not believe that Pepperdine is going to cover the all class talented Gonzaga team. They've been running through the competition. They've only lost one game this season. Yes, once again, they are down one of their top scorers, but that does not take away from the program, the consistency that Gonzaga plays with. They barely make mistakes. They are one of the highest in causing turnovers. I like Gonzaga to cover this 28 and a half against a lowly Pepperdine school. That's all my NCAA picks. Once again, it's Troy money line over ODU. It is Oakland minus 15 and a half against IUI, and it's Gonzaga minus 28 and a half against Pepperdine. Now to what everybody likes the most, hockey. We got a nice little slate in NHL today. I've only picked out a couple games that I'm gonna go over for today because I feel like those are the games that have the best value, I should say. That's what I want to say. Even though one of the teams is featured in here is Colorado Avalanche, which is my favorite team. Um, there's a lot of value in the games that are being played today, and that's what I want to go through. I want to start with the 10 o'clock puck drop of Washington and Vancouver Canucks. Um, the Vancouver Canucks have not won a game since December 30th. Okay. The Vancouver Canucks have not won a game since December 30th. With that being said, of course, we're going to take Washington to win today. But Vancouver is dead last in goal differential in the National Hockey League. And Washington is coming off of, I think it was a 5-2 loss, if I'm not mistaken. They had like a 5-2 loss to the Colorado Avalanche. And Washington, even though they are on the road, they are a way better team than what they displayed in Colorado. Yes, Colorado is head and shoulders above the rest of the league. We all know this. But Washington is in that playoff wild card. They're in they win a game, then they're in the wild card. They lose a game, they're in the wild card. They win a game, they're back in the playoff run. That's where Washington is, and Vancouver is just either the worst or second worst team in the league behind the St. Louis Blues. And I just really like this minus 1.5 that they're giving us for a plus 190. That is amazing odds for Washington Capitals today. So I'm gonna be taking the minus 1.5 for Washington and Vancouver Canucks puck drop at 10 o'clock Eastern time. Um, my next game that I have is another late game. The New York Islanders versus Seattle Kraken. If you were tuned into my last live, I had gave out the New York Islanders versus the Vancouver Canucks over 5.5, and that game ended 4-3. And surprisingly, the Vancouver Canucks had scored first in that game. I did not believe that they would be able to do that, especially with the fact that the Islanders have Sorokin in the net. But Vancouver Canucks was able to open up the scoring in that game, and you definitely, when it comes to these total overs, want the underdog to start out the scoring. I just thought that the Islanders was going to blow through Vancouver, but the Islanders had surrendered a couple goals early and help us get that total over because, like I told you recently just now, the Vancouver Canucks have not won a game since December 30th. Worst team in the NHL league right now. So, but Seattle, they are a a dynamic team. I won't call them a high scoring team. I think they're averaging about 2.6 goals a game. That's bottom of the NHL, but they're a dynamic team. They have players like my boy Jared McCain. They have Jaden Schwartz, Chandler Stevenson. He's one of my favorite fantasy prop players of the season. Chandler Stevenson. So the Islanders are going to have a little bit of problems on their hands today when it comes to guarding the net. And I know David Rochette should be playing today. Sorokin has been on a tear, but I do think David Rochette should be playing today, and he's given up more goals, especially since they are not playing in New York. I don't think that since this is not in New York, I do not think that Seattle is going to just let New York come in there and dominate the game. Um, Even though Matthew Stafford, Bo Horvat, these are some high scoring people. Um, that's why I just take this game over 5.5. The New York Islanders have been at 5.5 for a very long time, for almost this whole month, and they have cleared that line. I know they cleared that in their last 5 games. I know that. So I'm gonna keep going with the New York Islanders to be going over this total over whenever they're going against teams that, have these goal differentials that set them apart. They should be able to go out there and dominate the game. And Seattle is really good at putting some pucks in the net. So this is a no-brainer in my eyes. The next game that I got for us is Pittsburgh versus Calgary. I'm not gonna lie, this is a weird game for me to be picking who I'm picking. I'm picking Pittsburgh. It's not really that weird if you're a hockey fan, because you're probably like, why? Like, obviously Pittsburgh, no brainer. I'm really like not a Pittsburgh Penguin fan. I only like Sidney Crosby. I believe that they're only as good as they are because they have Sidney Crosby. If Sidney Crosby was on the Vancouver Canucks, they would be a way better team just because of how brilliant, how mentally ahead of the game Sidney Crosby is when he's playing. Nevertheless, they are going against Calgary, okay? And yes, a lot of people probably look at this and be like, "Oh my God, you're talking about the Calgary Flames, like one of the worst teams in the league this season." That is true, but paying attention to sports like I do, I look at everything almost every day. The Calgary Flames are a great home team, and I am not going to sit here and act like Mackenzie Weegar. Oh yeah, you know what I just remembered? Calgary just lost Rasmus Anderson via trade. That was their top defensive scorer. I think that just happened on Monday. I think that happened on Monday, but dang, Rasmus Anderson did just get traded from Calgary. Oh my goodness. Well, what I wrote down right? But I'm just remember that aspect today. Check back into the comment section after this live. I'm gonna have to do a deep dive on that. But if Rasmus Anderson is out, Mackenzie Weegar is their best defender after that. But he has been having a very underwhelming season. I mean, yeah, Jonathan Herdobo is still there, Nazim Cardi, but without Rasmus causing that disruption on the blue line like he does, I don't know if they have a chance anymore, because like I'm just like Sidney Crosby is like, I mean, if you know hockey at all, if you know anything, anybody that's watching this, if you know hockey at all, you know Sidney Crosby. I'm pretty sure you've heard the name Sidney Crosby if you're not even uh 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 a casual fan of the hockey sport. I'm pretty sure you heard the name Sidney Crosby. Sidney Crosby is so good that this team now depleted, already being one of the worst teams in the league. But now that I'm just remembering that Rasmus is not there, oh my goodness, they might be in trouble. They might be in trouble at home today. But I already wrote Pittsburgh money line. That's the play that I was going to give out. But Pittsburgh minus 1.5 might not be something that is bad to look into. Um, so yeah, I might change my pick to -1.5 for Pittsburgh. The next pick that I have is Utah. Utah money line. I really only wrote Utah down. I cannot remember who are they going against at this time. I want to see. Can I find that? Utah is going against Philly. Okay, Utah is going against Philly, and Utah is at the crib. And Utah has one of the best goalies in Velmacek in the net today. He has some of the highest save percentages, and he's one of the top winning goalies in the league this season. I think he already has 20 wins, if I'm not mistaken. Um, and the Philadelphia Flyers, oh my God, they just sold me the other day. Not they, as in the whole team, just Trevor Zegras. I just needed two shots, Trevor. Like, come on, man, you're the best guy on the team. I just needed two shots. I forgot who they played. I just needed two shots. They went out there and they got smoked. They got barnyard. 4-1, I think the score was. I cannot believe this. And Trevor did not. Travis Konecny scored twice. Shout out to Travis. I've always picked Travis Konecny. Travis Konecny did good, so they probably got 4-2. But Trevor Zegras did not give me a shot. This is not a rage bet, though. I'm not picking against Philly just because of that. I am picking Utah because Utah is a team that when I've been watching them all season, like they go out there and they play tough hockey, man. They're still down, I think, Logan Cooley, but they play tough hockey, man. They go out there. Sean Dursey has gotten a lot of points this season, and that is not something that should have happened. I think Sean Dursey is up to 12 points in like 30 games. I know that doesn't sound crazy, you know what I'm saying? But if you know Sean Dursey, he's just not that guy to be scoring like that. So the way that Utah has been looking in recent form, I would be reluctant to not run the Utah money line today against Philly. It is a great price. It is priced at like 115. I don't know why all these lines are being so evenly close, but Utah has won a lot of close games. They have a lot of one goal wins, you know what I'm saying? But they have in that statement, they win a lot of games. So I think Utah, I could look at their record real quick. I think yeah, Utah is 25, 20, and 4. Um, that they win a lot of close games. That 20 is something to be, a little bit, cautious of, but at the same time, they've seen Colorado, they've seen Carolina, they've seen Florida. You can't beat all these teams every single time you see them, but Utah is definitely, especially when we look at Philly too. Philly is a team that they'll go out there and they'll lose to Vancouver. They'll go out there and they'll lose to Anaheim. Anaheim has had a great season so far, but and sadly, I had to bring up Anaheim because that's who the next team we're going to get into. But Utah will go out there and they'll lose games to Anaheim. They'll go out there and they'll lose games to Buffalo. Not like Buffalo is a bad team, but sometimes you should win a game when you're at home at least, and they'll go out there and they'll drop some of those. So Utah today against Philly money line, I think that is a great line for everybody to take. Next team, my favorite team. If you are a follower of the research team, you already know who we're about to be talking about. The good old Nathan MacKinnon. Okay, Nathan MacKinnon is going to be playing another home game today. Nathan MacKinnon has recorded a goal he has recorded a goal at home in over 70% of their home games this season. Okay, I just seen an excerpt while watching. I think I was watching Tampa Bay versus San Jose last night, and it was and 5-on-5 scoring opportunities with your team's top point scorer on the ice. And yesterday's game featured two of the top four, number 3 and number 4, Nikita Kucherov, Macklin Celebrini. And with them on the ice, their team had like a total of like maybe like 270 for Macklin Celebrini, like 283 for Nikita Kucherov, scoring opportunities 5-on-5 on the ice. That's what this is going over. And then number 2 on that list is Connor McDavid, obviously. And Connor McDavid, while he's on the ice in 5-on-5 hockey, his team had about a total of 300, like 80, something like that, maybe like 390 scoring opportunities while he was on the ice in 5-on-5 hockey. At the top of the list was Nathan MacKinnon, okay? And with Nathan MacKinnon on the ice in 5-on-5 hockey, the expert said 522 scoring opportunities while this man was on the ice. By and far, one of the best hockey players that we'll ever see. Like I'm only 29 years old. I don't know how much hockey happened before, my time, but I can guarantee you Nathan MacKinnon is going down as one of the greatest hockey players to ever play the sport. And with the pace that the Colorado Avalanche are on this season, the players that they got in Kel McCarr, Martin Netches, Brock Nelson, like I can do this all day. Gabriel Landeskog, Brent Burns. If y'all into hockey, you know who Brent Burns is. Not Victor Olfensov. I can go Valerie Nanushkin. I can go Arturi Lekkinen. Gavin Brintley. Like all day long. I can go all the way until I run out of the whole roster. Everybody on the team is have the plus in the plus minus Devon Towles, you know what I'm saying? Plus in the plus minus Josh Manson, you know what I'm saying? Actually, that's his name. That's his name. You know what I'm saying? So, like, look, man, Colorado is going against Anaheim today. So I feel really bad for the Anaheim Ducks day going into Colorado, knowing that Colorado just got done coming off this losing streak that they was on. And it's funny because they lost 2 games, and I just seen Twitter trying to go crazy on my Colorado Avalanche like we're not the team to beat. Yes, Florida Panthers are the champs, but we are the team to beat. And with Anaheim coming into Colorado today, knowing what the research team knows about Colorado, Anaheim, one of my player props that I'm giving out for this game, aside from Nathan MacKinnon, 1.5, you should take every day. But because Anaheim is a poor defensive team, I am going to be taking Kel McCarr over 1.5 points today. It is most likely going to be priced at plus 160. I haven't looked at that today. I've only looked at team lines so far. I get into player props later on in the day. I haven't looked at that, but I'm letting everybody know now. I am going to be taking Kel McCarr over 1.5 points today. Anaheim gives up way too many points to defenders. Kel McCarr is by and far the best defender with the most points, leading for the Calder Trophy. Um, I think that and then he's going to be on the ice with Nathan MacKinnon. Like I just said, they had 522 scoring opportunities this season. They lead the league in goal differential, plus like 79, I think it is. So the scoring opportunities are going to be heavy and prevalent during today's game. And my last hockey game for the day is the Detroit Red Wings. I am taking the Detroit Red. I hope my brother Dove doesn't see this later and think that I'm just trying his team, right? But it's just like he's a Detroit Red Wing fan, and a couple of games recently, I've definitely taken Detroit to like I took Ottawa over Detroit, and Ottawa got spanked. And I also took Carolina over Detroit, and Carolina got spanked. And he's been laughing at me recently about this, but I need him to understand. I am. I look at you. Feel me, White? Like my dog White is laughing at me because he knows. Like, but bro, like I am not picking against Detroit Red Wings, like intentionally to come at him or nothing like that. This is just what the numbers and the value was pointing me in the direction of. And today on the road, I am taking Detroit Red Wings plus 1.5 because I cannot lie. The Toronto, no, I'm not hating. I am not hating. I am not hating on the Detroit Red Wings. I am not hating on my brother Dove and his favorite team in any aspect. Okay, this is just what I'm seeing from what I know, the sports knowledge that I have, and what I've been seeing in recent form. I am going to be taking the Detroit Red Wings plus 1.5 today. I have to take. I have to take no my look, man, I have to do Detroit Red Wings today, man. And it's only because for me at least, Toronto has been a great home team. I was I was see I was heavy hating on Toronto earlier this season, especially when my boy Anthony Stolars got oh my goodness. I just thought Toronto wasn't going to be nothing. I thought they were going to be dirt. I really thought the Toronto Maple Leafs were going to be terrible. And I was just like, yep, chalk it up. That's it. Austin Matthews, man. Austin Matthews, man. Bro, he's trying to tell me that they got cooked at home. Toronto got cooked at home. I'm pretty sure they just played Minnesota. You're talking about the Minnesota Wild? Is that who you're saying that they got? You're talking about the second best the second best team in the West. You're saying Toronto just got cooked by the second best team in the West. That's what you're telling me right now, YS. You're telling me Kirill Kaprizov, Quinn Hughes, that you know what I'm saying? Ryan Hartman, Matt Zarokolo, they went out there and okay, but guess what? They got Austin Matthews, okay? And Detroit Red Wings, they're gonna be dealing with a very, very, very pissed off Austin Matthews in today's game. Um, and you know what? But you're right. But look, see, that's what I'm saying though. Why is I'm taking them plus 1.5 because if they do win, they're on my ticket. But if they do lose, they should only lose by one. You know what I'm saying? Like that's how I gotta run this because I myself, I don't know why, but I can't take Detroit to win this game today. I can't take Detroit to win this game today, man. Like I can't. Like Detroit to win to beat Toronto. Joseph Wall has been playing outstanding hockey. Yes, Kirill Kaprizov and Kirill Kaprizov in the Minnesota Wild got to him. I like Lucas Raymond, right? That's just oh my god. That look, I like Lucas Raymond. I don't think he better than Quinn Hughes. I like Dylan Larkin. I like the Brinkat. They ain't better than Kirill Kaprizov. Like if I'm being real, like and I know my brother Dove is gonna be laughing at me like look, check this out, guys, right? Like every single time I pick a team opposite of my boy Dove, right? This is what he do. And it's funny because it's hilarious to me because I don't know if he bets on the team, right? Because when we have difference in opinions on the outcomes of certain games, I know me and Dove do this. Like we bet on the teams that we agree on. Me and him, I know we do that. So I guess when we have, like, because the first time when it was Ottawa, when I played Ottawa, and I told him I was gonna play Ottawa, he just was like, you know what? I ain't like he didn't play Detroit. So I don't know if he does it every time, but after every time I pick the opposite team of Detroit, Detroit has, first of all, Detroit has never made me out to be a genius. Okay, every single time I pick, unless I pick Detroit to win, and whenever I pick Detroit to win, they win. But it's like I can't always bring myself to pick Detroit to win, like in a game like today, and the final score. He'll go and screenshot ESPN final score and just drop it in the Discord chat, like with nothing else. Like every now and then he'll say something, but sometimes it's you know, just the final score. And that's what he'll do. He'll at everyone. That way I get the notification and then, he just like I made sure I put this in the Discord. Like, look, man. I need you guys to understand. I'm not a hater. My research team brothers are going to try to make me out to be a hater. I am not a hater. I love Dove. I love the Detroit Red Wings. Hey, I love taking Lucas Raymond and Dylan Larkin and Alex DeBrincat and Morty Cedar and James Van Ramsdick. Like I love taking all these guys. Okay, this has nothing to do with Dove. This has all to do with Vegas. And Vegas is pricing this plus 1.5 as the most valuable thing on the line in this game. Okay, I'm not taking not like obviously plus 1.5 means I believe that they're not going to lose by that much, but that doesn't mean that I got them losing. You know what I'm saying? They can go out there and win. If they go out there and win 1-0, I covered plus 1.5. Okay, I'm just trying to make sure that these people get a W. I'm not going to be sitting here putting the biasness in there. Like, I know that that's Dove's team. That's why I didn't take him to win. You feel me? Because it's my dog team. I gotta take them to be the underdog and cover the underdog spread because they're underdogs. So Detroit plus 1.5. For anybody who's just coming on alive and missed the hockey slate picks, because that is my last hockey pick, we are going with Washington Capitals minus 1.5 against the Vancouver Canucks. We're going with the New York Islanders at Seattle over 5.5 total goals. We're going with Pittsburgh money line at Calgary. Watch the description in the comment section later to see if that play turns into minus 1.5, because I just remember Rasmus Anderson got traded Monday from Calgary. That was their best defenseman. We may be taking Pittsburgh minus 1.5 a little later today. We're taking Utah money line against the Philadelphia Flyers. We're taking Colorado. I listen. You could take Colorado minus 1.5. You could take Colorado minus 2.5. You could take Colorado money line. You could take Nathan McKinnon minus 1.5 minus 1.5 points. You could take Kel McCarr 1.5 points. Martin Nietzsche's 2 assists. You know what I'm saying? Like, listen, like if I who was just getting into sports betting, um, if I was somebody who was going around like say there's a sports bettor and was going like, yeah, I got a lock for people. Listen to me very carefully. A lock is the Colorado Avalanche minus 1.5 against Anaheim. A lock is Kel McCarr over on the points today against Anaheim. Like, I could really just cut the live off right now. You guys play Kel McCarr and Colorado, and we could all go to sleep and wake up with some money in our pockets tomorrow. I cannot stress to you enough. Colorado minus 1.5. Kel McCarr over on the points. And the last pick, Detroit plus 1.5 against Toronto on the road. That's my NHL slate. And for NBA, I got, what is it? 1, 2, 3. I got 5 NBA picks. Yes, whoever, Kel McCarr, whoever, listen, I don't know who. Oh, that's Eden. That's my boy Eden. Yes, Eden. Look, Eden. Kel McCarr. Kel McCarr. We gotta go in on Kel McCarr today, okay? Gotta go in on Kel McCarr today. And my last slate that I have, I got NBA picks for us today. Dang, Eden. Dang, Eden. I always because look, my first pick in my NBA slate today, Eden, it's the Knicks covering 11.5 against the Brooklyn Nets. Now look, bro, look. Cause see, look, this is why for those watching, okay, this is why my research team, this is why they call me haters. Because when it comes to their favorite teams, it's like I'm always betting against their favorite teams, but I'm not doing it like intentionally. I'm just following good research. We're talking about the Knicks, and yes, the Knicks have been underachieving in like the last 10 games. I think they only like won like 2 in their like last 11, which is really, really bad for the Knicks. But they own New York, okay? They own, no, I'm not hating. They own New York. The Knicks own the Brooklyn Nets, and the spread is just 11.5 today. And they're getting Jalen Brunson and Josh Harden, Carl Anthony Towns. They're getting them back. Like, listen. I love the Brooklyn Nets. As a matter of fact, I don't love the Brooklyn Nets. I just thought about it. They just cost me when I took Orlando Magic on the 2.5 spread because this 19-year-old kid, Igor Dimin or whatever, he want to make 5 threes in the fourth quarter in overtime. He made three threes in the fourth quarter and 2 threes in overtime. Like, so you know what? I don't like Brooklyn, right? I don't like Brooklyn because they had Kenny Atkinson over there. Kenny Atkinson was the head coach, and because Kevin Durant and Kyrie said we don't need him as a head coach, Kenny Atkinson ended up in Cleveland, and now Cleveland like dirt. That's the Brooklyn Nets' fault, to be honest. So yeah, you know what? I kind of do be hating on Brooklyn, but I love my brother Eden. So that's why I always apologize to Eden. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't like how I gotta take the Brooklyn Nets But I gotta take the Knicks minus 11 and a half today. I gotta take the Knicks minus 11 and a half today. On after Jalen Brunson just called a players meeting, a players only meeting. They're not gonna let a sub 500 team come into the Garden and do anything. That's just how it is. So the New York Knicks minus 11 and a half. Who you got Sunday? So yo, okay. Wait, quick sidebar, because that's hilarious. That's hilarious. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. All right. So look, chat. Anybody who watches this live after in this, I need y'all to understand. I am on this sports betting journey with my brother YS and my brother Dove, and I'm not even that big of a football guy. Okay, but their respective teams, the Denver Broncos from my brother YS, the New England Patriots from my brother Dove, their respective teams have earned me a lot of money over these last 2 years. I cannot lie. And my brother YS is asking who I got Sunday, and he don't even got Bo Nix. He ain't even gonna have Bo Nix Sunday. He wonder who I got, and he don't got Bo Nix. Like, I wonder who. Like, look, man. If there's anybody if betting with your heart was a thing, why yes, this Sunday y'all could catch him on TikTok, the irate Broncos fan. That is a person that's gonna be betting with his heart this Sunday. Okay, I am, and it's okay. It's okay. It's okay, yo. I am a Dallas Cowboy fan. That is probably why I don't care that much about football, because my team is not that good. But, somebody that don't have a quarterback going into this Sunday, they should be a Patriots fan because Big Drake May and the New England Patriots, and you know about Travion Henderson, YS. You know what I'm saying? You don't, Stephon Diggs. You know what I'm saying? Drake. Drake. He a member. He already got the name. He's Drake. He's Drake. It's Drake May. Big Drake May. He was my MVP front runner until, Matthew Stafford kept being Matthew Stafford. So, I do believe that we're going to see Drake May and the Rams, what I'm saying, duking it out. So that's who I got Sunday. But back to this NBA, I got the New York Knicks minus 11 and a half against the Brooklyn Nets. I am so sorry, Eden. Um, I am also running to see. I don't really give out too many player props for basketball because the look, man, basketball is a tough sport to hit player props in daily. Okay, like you can get somebody like, I'm gonna just pick a random name. Like, you'll get somebody like Tyrese Maxey. Okay, let's take like yesterday, right? Like in my notes, see guys, look, I take really good notes, right? Check this out. My notes yesterday, me and my brother YS was talking about this. Even though I picked Philly yesterday, I'm a fan of Philly. I'm a fan of Tyrese Maxey yesterday. So I just picked Philly to win on a solo bet for Philly and Phoenix, and Phoenix actually won the game. Um, but I wrote these notes down yesterday, and surprisingly, Phoenix is a top five defense in points against, and Phoenix is a top two defense in steals per game, and the 76ers are a top 10 team in the league, leading in turnovers. So I don't know, like, and the reason I brought that up, right? The reason I brought it up is because Tyrese Maxey is averaging like 32 points, maybe. I don't know. He's probably averaging like 30. He's averaging 30 something. Tyrese is averaging 30 something points. Tyrese Maxey just dropped 30 points the other day. Yesterday, I like first quarter put up a goose egg. I think first half he had 7 points. You know what I'm saying? Like the NBA, when it comes to player props, at least. Like, I'm not telling people not to, you know, bet on these lines that I'm about to tell you guys now. But when it comes to player props specifically, listen, man, we got to be careful. We got to be careful out here, okay? They don't want you to have nothing, all right? They don't want you to have nothing. I don't know why I keep on getting like nine at bro. Tyrese Maxey had 9 points at the half. Like, dog, that's 18 points. That's an 18-point trend for the game for a guy that's averaging 30 points. But trust in the research team because like, and this is one of those do as I say, don't do as I do moments. Because yesterday, right? I'm like my brother YS is in the comment section, he could attest to this. I'm on the phone with him and I'm telling him, like, hey man, I'm telling him how crazy the lines look. Because I do want to go over this little slate that I had yesterday, just so you guys. That's the last thing I wanted to do, but I'm talking to them about how the lines look. I'm like, bro, the lines look so crazy, like so crazy. And then even Philly and Phoenix, I'm telling them, I'm like, bro, they got Philly as plus money at the crib. Yeah, Joel Embiid didn't play yesterday, but we both agree like that shouldn't be, that much of a difference. Andre Drummond went crazy on the bro. Andre Drummond and Bona both went crazy on the rebounds, brother. And they lost this game. They lost this game, but it's because, like I just told you guys, Phoenix is a top 5 defense in points allowed, and they're top 2 in steals. And the 76ers commit at they were number 7. They were number 7 on the list. I tried to be like when I write stuff down, I try to put it in perspective, but they were number 7 on the list. Number 7 in turnovers for the whole league. That's bad. And then when you think about it, yeah, do you know that makes sense because they only got Tyrese Maxey doing all the work. So I did say, look, I did say don't take Drummond. I did say don't take Drummond, but that's because I know, like Drummond went over and Bona went over. I just thought that from what I was looking at, I thought that Bona was going to get more playing time than Drummond, but that didn't happen. Um, there was making it seem as if, and when I say they, I'm talking about RotoWire for people who don't know, but they was making it seem as if Drummond wasn't going to be playing that many minutes. He actually played about 30 minutes. So shout out to Andre Drummond. As long as Joel Embiid is out, I think we could run that line. But uh, Bona had, I think his line was 5.5. He had 10 rebounds. So you know what I'm saying? Look, yeah, hey, I see it, but you did give me look, look. You know what I'm saying? My bad. I know you could have won more because you could have put them both together, but I just want, like, look, what I was doing is I was just trying to give you a good pick, brother. You know what I'm saying? I was like, look, don't do that. Pick Bona. just, just trust me. Pick Bona instead. You feel me? So, but I got Toronto. All that I was saying about Philly. Let me see, Kings. That's why I got Toronto because they're playing the Sacramento Kings money line. I just picked Toronto yesterday on my I'm gonna go over that at the end of the. I'm gonna go over that at the end, but I did pick Toronto yesterday money line against the Warriors. I mean, anybody that knows that Jimmy Butler just got season ended, they probably would have picked that too. But yeah, I picked Toronto yesterday. I'm running Toronto back. They are playing back-to-back games. I think that they're going to be ready to play. They're just from Oakland to Sacramento. I don't think that it's that far away from each other. I'm not sure. I mean, I used to know somebody that lived up in Cutler Bay area. I think that's what it was called. So, I think it's not that far. Oakland and Sacramento. And, I'm a baller. That's my sport. I love basketball. I used to be a travel guy. I'm saying sometimes when like if you're a baller, you know this. You go, let's say you're like I'm from Florida, you got to go to Texas to play basketball. You go there the first day, you probably just getting used to it. But if you've been there a couple of days, like let's say they had to go to San Antonio, then they go to Houston. Yeah, your Houston game is going to be better than your San Antonio game. They played exceptionally well in Golden State last night, and I expect them against one of the worst teams in the league to do just that again. Even though they got Sabonis back, Sabonis is still playing restricted minutes. He's not even starting the games yet, so Toronto money line today. I got Detroit minus 3.5 today. I think they play the Pelicans. I've been taking Detroit spread because Detroit money line doesn't really pay as much as I would like it to for me to like. I'm a fan of Kate Cunningham. Kate Cunningham is a beast. Kate Cunningham is a dog. Majority of the games that he's in is by being the guy that he is. So I'm gonna take the spread in this because they are getting all their pieces back. They got Tobias Harris back. They got Jalen Duren back. They got Jaden Ivey back off the bench. You know what I'm saying? Like, and with a player like Cade Cunningham, like, bro, I don't know if y'all like he Cade Cunningham is so unselfish, but so dominant with the ball in his hand. Like He can pick and roll floater at any moment. He can come down, pull up three. You know what I'm saying? He can get all the way to the rack, but he's so unselfish. It makes everybody a threat. So going to the Detroit Pistons minus 3.5 today. I'm pretty sure they're playing the Pelicans. I don't want to keep going back and forth because I'm going to be off of this soon. So I know the other two teams. I'm pretty sure it's Detroit versus the Pelicans at Pelicans though. I am pretty sure, but whoever they're playing, um, the minus 3.5 spread was what I was taking. But I'm like 90% sure it's the Pelicans. Um, then we got Boston versus the Pacers today. Boston versus the Pacers. I'm taking Boston spread minus 11. Boston, a look, Detroit and Boston just put on a great game the other day. They both got a day off. Detroit and Boston both got a day off, and now they're both playing teams that should not be able to do what they did to each other. Boston should go out there and blow this team out the water. It's just the Pacers. It's the Pacers. No Tyrese Halliburton. No, what's my boy, Miles Turner. He's going to. Pascal is Pascal, but I'm sorry, Pascal is too much. It's too much. You got Derek White over there, all-time Celtic. You got Jaylen Brown over there, all-time Celtic. Peyton Pritchard over there, six man of the year. You got Anthony Simons coming off the bench. You know what I'm saying? You got the boy Quetta that be getting buckets now. I don't know. I think he just dropped like 12 points. Oh, you got Drew. No, no. Drew Timmy played for the Lakers. Almost said the wrong person, but it's somebody else that they have. Some other dude that a big that was just balling the other day. I think his name is Gaza or something like that. These guys, the Boston is just a great team. Is 11 minus 11, not minus 11 and a half, not minus 10 and a half, minus 11. So they got to win by 12 still. But minus 11 is the spread that they had gave. You could buy that down to 8.5 points and still pay out really well. But I believe Boston is gonna. The money line just doesn't pay. That's why I take the spreads. Um, for certain games like this. But again, my last game for the basketball slate is the OKC money line. And the reason I'm doing with the money line for that game is because there's no reason for us to take a spread when OKC is priced anywhere in the 300s. Like OKC, like I don't know if you guys how many of y'all have been sports betting this season on basketball for these money line spreads. OKC is usually around like minus 800, minus 1,000. You know what I'm saying? They're priced at like minus 300 a day. There's no reason for us to go crazy on the spread for the Milwaukee Bucks. They are with Giannis, but not with enough to go against OKC today. And I've already played OKC as my money line on one of my tickets. I just felt like when I woke up and I seen that, I just thought that that was something that was relatively easy and going to happen today. The spread though is like 12 and a half. That is, I mean, OKC should be able to cover that if you want to take that because of the price at 110 is better than the minus 315 that we're getting or minus, I forgot exactly what it was, but it's not a minus 800 spread for OKC today. And when I seen that, I thought that it was a smart bet to take OKC to win. Shea Gilgeous-Alexander just got named an All-Star. I know Giannis just got named an All-Star too, but Shea Gilgeous-Alexander has the ball in his hand more and has a better team around him. So I would definitely go ahead and take him for the W. Um, that is all the picks that I had ready for everybody today. I just wanted to go over real quick just some of this homework that I had yesterday because I just want people to know the research that goes into what we what we play. So yesterday, this is just front and back, you know, page of hockey and basketball. That's what I was picking. The only two hockey games that I got wrong yesterday was Edmonton and the Rangers. Edmonton lost a 2-1 close game. I thought that Edmonton would be able to pull that one out, having the number one power play in the league, and New Jersey being down one of their best defenders in the Hughes brother, but they was able to get a good, solid, low-scoring victory at Edmonton, and I thought that was pretty tough for New Jersey. I'm actually surprised at them. And then the Rangers and the Kings. To be honest, The Kings are a better team. I like the Rangers to win yesterday, but the Kings are a better team record wise. Not really number wise because like the Kings have a minus 11 goal differential going into yesterday's contest, and the Rangers had a minus 20 goal differential going into yesterday's contest. So that is another reason why they were better. But in the power play and the penalty kill, the Rangers are better than the Kings. And I just thought that they would have a good game yesterday, and they did not. But Winnipeg, Buffalo, Dallas, Tampa Bay, Montreal, and Ottawa, all those money lines that was picked had cleared. And to go along with those things, Kyle Connor over on the points yesterday had cleared. Taze Thompson over had cleared. Wyatt Johnson. These are the player props that I picked with these games. You can see their names right next to it. You know what I'm saying? Like Wyatt Johnson for Boston yesterday. He got a power play goal, the first goal of the game. Tampa Bay, Darren Radish was my player prop. That's the only player prop that missed for me yesterday, but Tampa Bay did clear. I picked them minus 2.5 yesterday. Uh, great price. It was that like 210 cleared. They won 4-1, minus 2.5 cleared. Montreal and Minnesota over. The line was 5.5 yesterday. They would have went over 6.5 yesterday too. The final score was 43. Montreal with the star next to their name for the money line, and Ottawa uh for the win yesterday, and Tim Stutzel over on the shots and over on the goal, both cleared. Those were all the picks that was given out yesterday. Well, these picks, that's why I wanted to tell you guys this, because these picks were not given out yesterday. These are things that we go over in our Discord, and I will be dropping the link to the Discord in the description in the comment section below. I want you guys to follow that Discord, follow the research team where we do the research and you make the money. So I appreciate everybody who had their time and who tuned in with their time. I appreciate those. We'll be back next time. Probably have a night school. We used to do that on Twitter Spaces. We might do a night school recap on some of these games that had went on today. But we'll be back live. Not just me. I have some of my brothers that will be live with me, but I do go live to try to give out some picks thing almost every day. You guys will be seeing me 4 to 5 times out the week for sure. And just a final recap for anybody that may have missed, or for people who are like me and just want to fast forward and get to the part that you came to see. I I'm telling I gave out Troy versus ODU money line, Oakland Bears versus IUI minus 15.5, Gonzaga versus Pepperdine minus 28.5. I gave out Detroit plus 1.5 for hockey, Detroit Red Wings for hockey against Toronto, Colorado minus 1.5 against the Anaheim Ducks. Player prop for that game is Kel McCarr. Utah money line against Philadelphia Flyers. Pittsburgh money line might change to minus 1.5 against Calgary at Calgary. New York Islanders and Seattle over 5.5 goals. Washington minus 1.5 against Vancouver. And then for the NBA, Knicks minus 11.5 against Brooklyn. The Toronto money line against Sacramento, Detroit minus 3.5 against the Pelicans, Boston minus 11 against the Pacers, and OKC money line against Milwaukee Bucks. All right, data heads. Make sure that you follow, like, subscribe, comment with some plays that you guys may have played today. Comment with your best plays, comment what you think about my plays. You know what I'm saying? We can get dialogue. Everybody loves dialogue. And make sure that you go and join that Discord. Until next time, data heads, good luck on them picks. Make a lot of money.